Welcome to Top Step Funded Trader Interview. I'm Eddie Horn, and today we've got Tim. Tim, all the way across the pond. Tim, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, Eddie?
I'm fine. Thank you very much here. I stay in Chicago, and interesting to talk to Tim. Tim, where are you from exactly across the pond?
So it's a journey because hi, I'm Tim, by the way. I'm 28. Originally from Moscow, and now living in near London. And so yeah, I'm in England, just outside of West London, and yeah, that's where I trade from. That's where I'm based. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell us about yourself a little bit.
So I'm a jeweler by trade, believe it or not. Something absolutely nothing to do with the stock market at all. And I fell into trading quite by accident, really. I'd like to think that because I already worked with expensive materials and stuff, my risk management was better than other people's, but it's probably something that I want to believe, and it's not actually true, you know?
Right. Now, where did this start? Where did the trading bug? Now, you mentioned it, but where did it really start where you sort of grabbed it and you ran with it?
I've always been an extremely motivated person my core belief is if you want more, you have to do more.
Right.
So following that onwards, I tried to approach investment firms to try and make my money go further while I'm, doing my normal job. And frankly, they very politely turned me around and said, you don't have enough money for us to invest it and to take a chunk off the top. So I thought, well, if they can do it, why am I going to ask someone else to do it when I could just learn to do it myself? And that's originally where the idea kind of snowballed from, as everything, step by step, by little steps, and now
Sure.
we're here.
Sure. Now, education training, was this something that you did on your own, or did you look for this?
So I took two courses prior to Topstep. One of them was very expensive, and I'm not going to mention the name of the person, but in my opinion, was pretty useless to my style of trading. I want to add that, it's just I'm sure to a lot of people it would be extremely useful, but I didn't really understand the concept of like you needing to find somebody who trades like you. It didn't kind of click in my head first.
Right.
Yeah.
And as education, there's a lot of education out there. It's just a matter, like you said, what fits my style. And
Yeah.
every once in a while you're going to find something that you like and you're going to adopt that, whether it's something from this person or this person, and you sort of put it together and make it work. So
Exactly.
right now, talking about the markets here today and the products and so forth. What have you been trading?
So I started on ES. Then, as all new traders thought, oh, NQ swings with more money. I want more money, so I'll go to NQ. And actually, I am switching back to ES as of literally only 2 or 3 days ago. I mean, I've always been a person where if I enter something new, trading included, I want to see the long-term picture. So I want to see like what will it happen when I get comfortable trading this and when I want to trade 10, 20, 30 contracts at a time.
Right now,
So I don't want to get stuck in something where I can't pull out of it quickly enough.
sure.
So that's why, yes.
Now, you mentioned you went to NASDAQ, you came back to ES. Why'd you do that?
So funnily enough, one of the reasons was one of the seminars that I watched on Topstep. And when you watch 2 or 3 people that have been trading for longer than you've been alive, and all of them say, NES over NQ, you do think like, okay, I can be a little bit silly sometimes and pretend that I know better than other people. But if there's 5 of them in the room and they're all saying the same thing, maybe I should look at it, And they all mentioned the liquidity issues and other ways that ES is much better, and I just followed along. Really,
It's good. It's good. And then Honestly, the advice is I took that same path. Used to trade crude and years ago, and then when crude sort of died out a little bit, yes, it did at one point. A lot of us moved to Nasdaq because we wanted the speed, we wanted the
Mm,
volume, and for me, it was just a little too fast, and I settled back in the ES where I was trading S&Ps on the trading floor for Deutsche Bank. So that worked out pretty good. It's like coming back home and seeing success.
yeah.
Now, trading wise, you use indicators. What indicators do you use that you could share with us?
So I feel like I started in a very sort of generic RSI, MACD kind of paired with EMA and SMA. But to be fair with you, the more I've always heard people say, when you get better and better and better, you kind of tend to leave indicators behind, and it never really made sense to me because I thought, if it works, then why would you sort of leave them behind? But I find them to be lagging a little bit because by the time they tell if they make the decision for you, you don't know anything, you haven't really learned anything, you're just looking at data. But also, I just found it, if you watch price action, it's live. You don't have to wait for two candles for like the EMA to react or an RSI to actually start going back up. By then it's too late, you might have missed your entry. So I have an EMA, a 21 EMA running just so I can look at, but I mean, I use that mostly to see how choppy the market is,
Right.
you know?
Right. There's a lot of indicators out there, and it's a plethora of decisions, and this
Mm,
is where we got to find what works for us. And eventually, you'll turn that filter on, and you'll start finding what helps you better, and what helps you move forward a lot quicker. So that's good. It's a trial and error, really, with indicators.
mm.
How about your strengths in trading? What are some of your strengths and what are some of your weaknesses?
Okay, so because of my outside job, so I specific to what I do is I'm a diamond setter. So I work with diamonds and I put them into articles of jewelry. So I'm quite used to my work being, if I break this, I'll owe that person money. So I don't have a problem with sitting for a pullback. I don't have a problem with it going down first before it comes back up and just really basically holding my nerve. Weaknesses, I cannot scalp. It just doesn't, every time, because to me, I thought, okay, fine. When it's choppy, I'll scalp. When it's trending, I'll obviously hold my position, but I cannot for the life of me scalp. It turns into gambling for me, you know?
Right.
So for me, it's waiting out choppy markets, basically, and trying to catch the transition from chop into trend. That's sometimes not as smooth as I'd like it to be.
Right.
That's it.
Now, you're dealing with gold and diamonds, and as you said, I mean, patience. Patience is a virtue in trading. It's so very important to have patience, and saying that is one of your strengths. That's definitely a bonus. Um, but of course, that weakness, you got to work at it if you want to have it work. I mean, if you want to use scalping, this is something that you've got to fine tune. You've got to, work on to make it better. Now, um, we got a lot of traders out there right now, and what I wanted to say is, make sure you're taking notes if you're watching this. There's a lot of good knowledge and education that Tim is sharing with us. Now, Tim, what do you words of wisdom for a trader? What would you share with a new trader that asked you about trading?
It's a very good question, actually. It's a lot of people say that you kind of need the right character traits to trade. Honestly, I would disagree with that because I think if you are really willing to change yourself, you can. Patience is a skill. It can be learned. You can be not patient and force yourself to be patient through more effort. Yes, agreed. But to be honest with you, is the thing that will make you succeed or not succeed is whether you have will to do it. You know, so
Desire, passion, yes,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
that'll move you forward.
So I think it's a very big thing of like, its problem is trading is so individual. So I don't want to say, oh, you need to do this because it only works for me. It might not work for the other, you know, billions of people out there trading.
Right.
So just basically make sure that it is what you want to do. And then if it is, work at it. Simple.
Run with it. Exactly. Exactly. Now, let me ask you about Topstep. Has Topstep made you a better trader?
It hasn't. It's not made me a better trader. It's made me a trader. So I feel like that it's actually, I can say I'm a trader now because of Topstep. It hasn't just improved me, it made me. So yes, 100%.
Okay, great. Now, what do you like most about Topstep?
It's really easy to use. There's not, it's easy to use. You got the support, the customer support. It's funny because I watched someone else's interview and they said literally exactly what I'm going to say. The customer support, all the the rules, actually, even though breaking them sucks, but they do really, really improve you as a trader. And all the webinars and everything, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. And the community is great as well. So everything, really, there's not one specific thing, I'd say.
Right. Well, what is the one Topstep rule that has helped you most? Now, I know there's a lot, but a lot of these sort of branch out to different traders. Which one has
Yeah.
helped you the most?
So for me personally, daily loss limit, 100%, because I do get carried away with emotion sometimes. And it's very easy to think, I'll just make my losses back, and sometimes it's just one of those days where you need to cut it off and be done with it, and it's hard. But if you have a line that says you don't have an account tomorrow if you carry on, then you have to stop. So it teaches you, very good habits.
Right. It sort of goes with the mantra trade for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep you in the game.
Yeah.
Now, besides trading, what you're a jeweler, what hobbies are you? A collector? Music, sports?
Oh God, I'm a busy person, Eddie. So I had my own jewelry company on the side as well as a full-time jewelry job as well, but the company was closed down recently to kind of take over trading. I also rock climb 2-3 times a week, indoors and outdoors, and I try and go snowboarding. I try and have a trip every year, but I go indoor like maybe once a month as well. So I try and get out there as much as I can. Yeah.
Where do you go snowboarding?
So Spain or somewhere else in Europe, I'd love to actually visit America for snowboarding. There are a couple of places that I'd love to go. So yeah.
Well, I know Mike Patak is a big snowboarder, skier.
Hmm.
So maybe you come out to Colorado and hit some of the slopes with him.
There you go. No bad shout.
No. All right, now for the fun question. And I look forward to putting these together for our traders, funded traders. Now, this might just come into play since you've been talking about it, but you've built a successful company, Tim. What type of company is this?
I suppose this is a character versus the need of the planet, because part of me says, well, obviously renewable electricity and renewable power would be absolutely fantastic and everlasting, but no, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Yeah, renewable energy.
Renewable energy. Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, I really appreciate your time with us here today. All the best for you and with Topstep. Any last words before we say goodbye?
I hope this has helped someone out there, and all the best, guys. Honestly, enjoy your time. Don't be in a rush to make money. Just learn.
All right, Tim, I appreciate your time with us. I'm Eddie Horn. Uh, till we meet again, stay focused, stay positive, trade well, take care.